Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And continuing the Sefer in the Mesillas Yesharim, which is called The Way of the Upright or the Path of the Just, from the Ramchal, Rav Moshe Chaim Lutzato. And this is from the Art Scroll Sefer, the Yach edition, and this is what it looks like if you still haven't seen it. This is actually part number 111. Baruch Hashem, winding down, as we say, to finishing up the Sefer. So this next part is called Ruach HaKodesh, and I forgot to say this is chapter 26, which is called the trait of Kedushah or Holiness, or the definition of Kedushah. So this is called Ruach HaKodesh and Techiyas HaMeisim. So, and from there, meaning from Kedushah, he will ascend to a more lofty level, which is that of Ruach HaKodesh, through which his intellect reaches beyond the limits of human capability. And the commentary says that Ruach HaKodesh is a higher form of connection to Hashem, through it a person may gain certain perceptions and understandings, not by using his intellect, but by receiving this wisdom through his connection with the divine. He may thereby perceive concepts with a more vivid clarity than he could with his own intellect. And through this connection, knowledge of future or hidden things may sometimes be revealed. So that's the case with when people have that ability, when they get to that level. And in the Mesillas Yesharim Seder Vikuach, chapter 28, Ramchal explains the demarcation point between the level of Kedushah and that of Ruach HaKodesh. When a person has reached Kedushah, he is granted great spiritual assistance and connection, more than he could reach on his own. Yet he may not recognize clearly that his flow of holiness is coming to him from on high, meaning, of course, from Hashem. It is only when he knows clearly that he is receiving this special flow as a supernatural gift that he has reached the level of Ruach HaKodesh. For a more complete, it says, discussion of the nature of Ruach HaKodesh and the similarities and differences between it and prophecy, see Derech Hashem 3:3, and also Orchos Yoshe bar Rav Chaim Kanievsky, chapter 26. And then he continues, moreover, the attachment to Hashem of the Kadosh can reach such an exalted level that he may even be given the, quote, key, meaning the ability of resurrection of the dead, which is called the Techiyas HaMeisim. Just as it was given to Eliyahu Hanavi and to his disciple Elisha, who performed this miracle. In M.L.M, you could see it in M.L.M Aleph, chapter 17, and M.L.M Beis, chapter 4. For this ability is indicative of the most powerful connection to Hashem, blessed be He. For since Hashem, blessed be His name, is the source of life, the one who gives life to every living being, as reflected in the statement of the sages of blessed memory in Tanis 2a. It says, 3 keys were not given over to an agent, the, quote, key of resurrection of the dead, etc. Commentary here says that Hashem controls the world through various spiritual agents, such as angels. The Gemara teaches that there are 3 areas that Hashem directly controls without giving the keys to any agent. One of them is the ability to resurrect the dead. For Hashem alone is the source of all life. The other 2 are the keys to childbirth and rainfall. These are also associated with life, since rainfall sustains life. And it says, see Abu Draham to the second blessing of the Shemona Esrei. Then it continues, it follows that one who cleaves to Hashem, blessed be He, with an absolute attachment, can draw forth from Him, blessed be He, even the flow of life itself. For it is this quality that is specifically associated with Hashem more than anything else, as I have just written. Commentary here says, although the, quote, key of life itself, since it is most closely connected with Hashem, is not entrusted even to the angels, a Kadosh who has reached the highest level of connection with Hashem will have the ability to draw this most divine of forces down to the world. More than any other miracle or wonder, this ability indicates clearly the great connection that the most elevated Kadosh has with Hashem. Also see Ramban to Vayikra 18:4. So yeah, it shows you that. So imagine people who are able, I think everyone, it says in the Talmud, they could do. So imagine you could do Techiyas HaMeisim. Do you realize what kind of level you're at? It's like hard to imagine. I'm just adding that. Okay, then he continues. This then is the meaning of the conclusion of the Baraisa of Rav Pinchas ben Yair, when it says, and Kedushah brings one to Ruach HaKodesh, and Ruach HaKodesh brings one to resurrection of the dead. And then now the summary of the trait of Kedushah. So the proceeding concludes Ramchal's explanation of the trait of Kedushah. The remainder of this chapter serves as a conclusion for the entire Mesillas Yesharim. We therefore summarize here the discussion regarding Kedushah. Kedushah is an intense level of connection to Hashem, in which a person's every thought and action are saturated with spirituality and closeness to Hashem. One who attains Kedushah becomes akin to an angel, and while continuing to live in this world, in essence exists on a much higher plane. It is in fact a level that is beyond human capability to achieve. One can only strive for Kedushah, but its true attainment is a divine gift. When a person merits attaining Kedushah, the Shekhinah rests upon him in the manner that it rested in the Beis HaMikdash. Even the physical activities of a Kadosh, such as eating and drinking, rise to the level of divine service and are akin to the bringing of offerings upon the altar. Indeed, the material and inanimate objects that a Kadosh uses are elevated, and his use of them brings blessing to the world. The effort to attain Kedushah consists of a great degree of abstinence from worldly things, and an intense and constant consciousness of one's connection with Hashem. It further entails a deep study of the divine wisdom and an intense focus on the divine exaltedness. Solitude is also a necessary component in attaining this trait, while association with others detracts from it. After one has attained Kedushah, it is possible for him to further ascend to the levels of Ruach HaKodesh and performing Techiyas HaMeisim. And I'm going to stop here, and I hope and pray that we all merit to live and see becoming a Mashiach speedily in our days and rebuilding of the final and everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.